Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Namandabs, 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 namandabs.
Well, good morning, everyone. Nice to see you this morning for our family Dharma service. And the Kansho, or the calling bell, signifies that is calling us to gather in front of the Amida Buddha for our gathering today. My name is Ralph Honda, and I'm the chairperson for the service. And our certified minister's assistant, Sharon Sasaki, will be our Dharma leader, and our musician is Robert Yamamoto, and thank you to Bill Teague for ringing the Kansho. We'll begin this morning's service with a silent meditation. So if you could put your hands together in meditation. Gassho.
Gentle are Buddha's children in school, at temple, or at play. Gentle are Buddha's children in thoughts, in words, and in deeds. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amidabs, Namandabs, Namandabs, Namandabs.
The reading that Sharon shared with us reminded me that last night our Dharma school had their own service last night, and they had their Halloween party. So that's why the children aren't here this morning. But the kids, they were all dressed up in their Halloween costumes, and the adults were too. So it was a fun evening for everyone who attended last night. So, this is an extended invitation for all of you to join the Dharma, their Halloween service and party next year. Okay, we will have the Sutra chanting Sanbutsuge, and it can be found on page 43 of the service book.
Kogen gigi ijin mugoku myose enmyo muyo tosha nichigatsumani shuko enyo kaishitsu onpei Yunyaku jumoku nyorai yogen chose murin 小学大音コル実法開門精進三昧知恵意徳無量修正慶右人体善念小仏崩壊愚人人の空語外体無明欲ぬ世相女無二の死死人徳無量空君古代知恵人名光明意祖神道大仙願が差仏在所法可動生じ未不下脱不正上位解任精進如是三昧知恵以上五世特仏不行志願一切空空一切大安決し有仏百千億万無量大小修行語者供養一切使徒小仏不如愚道賢書不逆非如語者小仏世界無不影無種節道光明師匠変死小国如是精進異人難量量が差仏国土第一五種奇妙道場超絶国如内音二無闘争ガト愛民道脱一切実法来所死熱症状意図が国経楽和の古物神妙是が心象発がの日力少々欲実法世尊知恵無下上領子孫知が信行軽量心志食毒中学業精進人寿不敬ナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブガニシクドク平等性一切道本菩提 Jo. An. Rako. Namandabs, 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 namandabs.
At this time, we will have a Dharma message from Sharon Sasaki.
Please join me in Gassho. Sentient beings who encounter this light have the three defilements swept away, and they become soft and gentle in body and mind. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Good morning, everyone. It's great to see you all here today, including a few people who were here yesterday evening for the service before our Halloween party, which, as Ralph was saying, was a lot of fun. And next year, or in years in the future, it'd be great for everyone to join our temple Halloween party. It's really a nice event. And thank you to all the people who made that happen, including the junior YBA, Sangha teens, and lots of volunteers who cooked and coordinated and made it a really fun event, and the people who dressed up in fun costumes, including our temple president here. So great teamwork. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Sharon Sasaki, as Ralph was saying, and I'm a minister's assistant here at the temple. I became a minister's assistant in 2021 under the guidance of Reverend Kenji Akohoshi. And so just want to stress minister's assistant, not minister, assistant. And so this has definitely been a wonderful learning opportunity. Just the last 3 years of learning and training with our wonderful ministers and other teachers. So thank you to this Sangha for your wonderful support, which I really appreciated. And I think I've learned so much from just all the people here, just seeing and watching everyone and seeing how everyone works together. It's been quite moving and personally gratifying. So today, we're not having a party, but we will be having a special guest, I understand, at the temple. And so I guess I have a question. Did anyone here, or raise your hand if you saw the movie Carving the Divine? Yeah, some of us did, yes. We actually had an event here and showed it, I think, a few years ago, or was it last year? So it's a wonderful movie, and it was fascinating to observe the relationships between teacher masters and the apprentices in Japan. And it's, the subject is the ancient art of carving Buddhist sculptures, and it's just kind of mind-blowing when you watch the craftsmanship and the art and the training that goes into it. So I definitely recommend the movie if you haven't seen it. And the dynamic creator and director of Carving the Divine, Yujiro Seki, will be here because of the support he received from our temple members. And Shirley Amori is graciously coordinating a meet and greet later with him. So on to my talk. So my opening passage might be familiar to you, and the context is the larger sutra in which Shakyamuni Buddha is explaining the majestic radiance of Amida Buddha to his disciple, Ananda. The phrase, soft and gentle, is captivating in this passage. I love the idea of becoming soft and gentle in body and mind. I think it's because its opposite, hard and intense, seems more wired into our culture, as in the popular phrase, work hard, play hard, not work soft, play gentle. And this mindset has worked its way into my own personality. And today I'll share a recent example of my own hard-headedness. So another question, have you seen news stories about hikers who've gotten lost and needed to be rescued? So I've read them and have been intrigued. I enjoy hiking because I was smarter than that, I could never imagine being in that situation. That is until about 2 weeks ago. So my husband Robert and I were at Anza Borrego State Park in the desert east of San Diego. We decided to do a morning hike to a slot canyon and brought our dog, Mimi. However, when we got to the trailhead, the signs were clear, no dogs. So we decided to take turns doing the hike, with me going out first alone. I've always been geographically challenged, so this was the first bad idea. About 3/4 mile into the hike, I came across the one other person out there, an older man who was on his way back. And I asked him if it was much further, and he told me that when he saw a mountain in front of him, he turned around because it was too hot. And he warned me to be careful. It was close to 100 degrees, but I didn't feel hot. It was about a little after 9 a.m. So instead of deterring me, his statement made the hike more of a personal challenge. I hiked a rocky trail that became increasingly faint. In other words, it was hard to tell, is that the trail? Yeah. Some hikes have these cairns, or like little rock formations that you can tell where it goes, or it's like a nice wide one, but this wasn't like that. It was getting fainter. So I followed that faint trail up the mountain, looking for the slot canyon. Not finding it, I finally decided to turn around, with Robert and Mimi waiting for me. But when trying to find my way down in the rocky terrain, I got lost. I had my Strava tracking app on, so I should have retraced my steps back. But for some reason, I didn't think to do that. I wandered along looking for a trail, any trail, amid ridges and canyons, and I ended up on the other side of the mountain. There I saw what looked like a trail and excitedly started hiking toward it. I later realized that this trail was even further away, and because the area was remote, it wasn't possible for me to be picked up at any location except the one I started from. So I heard that our CMA Arturo recently talked about our Dharma school theme, Finding Your Path, and that he mentioned the story of Hansel and Gretel. And I was even thinking this while I was out there. Oh, if I'd only been smart like Hansel and Gretel and left a trail of breadcrumbs behind me on my way up. So climbing up, down, and around the mountain and canyons was kind of scary because of the many loose rocks and possibility of slipping. But I had enough water, thanks to Robert, who handed me 2 additional bottles, like right when I was about to go. I felt physically fine and more confident after I finally started retracing my steps in the right direction. However, after I was gone about an hour, Robert got very concerned and started after me, leaving Mimi leashed in the shade of our car. And then when Robert didn't come back for a while, the other hiker who saw both of us got worried, and he called 911. So about 2 hours after I started the hike, Robert and I found each other. And then probably we were trying to make our way back. Then up ahead in the sky, we noticed there's a CHP airplane circling around us. And then I was like, we realized he was looking for us. He even called Robert's name. And we waved at him while we were off trail on the side of the mountain. And then when he found us, he said, "Stay where you are," because a CHP helicopter is coming to rescue us. And at that point, we had no choice and couldn't call it off. So, waiting for that helicopter, I felt terrible about causing all this trouble and expending so many resources. Worse yet, meeting the helicopter, after we got onto the helicopter and got the ride, meeting us at our car where we were parked were a sheriff, 2 fire engines, another CHP, and 2 rangers. It was ridiculous. But all the emergency personnel were kind and understanding. I asked a ranger, "Is this going on the news?" And he assured me that it wasn't. I didn't want my foolishness exposed to the whole cyber universe. So I'm still processing this incident, and it might seed several different Dharma talks. But my initial reaction was thinking about my bonno, or ego-based affliction. So 1, I should be the last one judging other people for apparent stupidity, thinking that isn't me. Obviously, it is me. 2, my hard-headed ego keeps trying to cover up weaknesses, both acknowledging them to myself and exposing them to other people. As referenced by Reverend Jodo Haguri in his book, The Awareness of Self, I feel like the crow in the Aesop's fable, The Crow and the Peacock. The crow finds peacock feathers, adorns himself with them, and is as attractive as the peacock. But when a gust of wind blows off the feathers, the crow stands completely shorn of his ornamentation. The winds that blow off the feathers of our strength and abilities are sickness, old age, and death. As I'm getting older, my feathers are blowing off. Over time, I'll continue to lose physical coordination, mental capacity, my ability to help others, and eventually to take care of my own daily needs. So at some point, I'll be completely exposed, like the crow with no peacock feathers left. At that point, what is left? What we can rely on is the Nembutsu, which is Namo Amida Butsu. As Shinran Shonin states in Tannisho, with a foolish being full of blind passions, in this fleeting world, this burning house,
All matters without exception are empty and false, totally without truth and sincerity. The Nembutsu alone is true and real. So, from our crazy incident at Anza-Borrego, I have thank yous and apologies. Thank you, Robert, for coming out to look for me, even though I told you not to come because I could figure it out myself. I'm sorry that because of your concern, you left Mimi by herself, but she's okay. But I'm sure it was a difficult decision to leave her there by herself. Thank you to the unnamed hiker who waited and called 911 because he was worried and concerned for us. I'm sorry that I didn't just turn around when he suggested. And thank you to the rangers and emergency response workers who came out to rescue us and were so kind and understanding. And I'm sorry that you went to all this trouble because of my foolishness. I unfortunately missed the service last Sunday and the Dharma talk by Bishop Harada, but I understand that he explained two aspects of Nembutsu. One, that you can think of Namo Amida Butsu as, thank you, Buddha. Two, the only true answer to what Namo Amida Butsu means is to find out yourself. And I think as you go through life's joys, struggles, and disappointments, the meaning of Namo Amida Butsu deepens. In conclusion, to a hard-headed bonbu, or foolish being like me, Amida's light of wisdom extends as compassion, as Namo Amida Butsu. Amida Buddha's compassionate vow is directed to proud individuals like me, losing feathers, embracing me as I am. Thank you, Buddha. Please join me again in Gassho. Sentient beings who encounter this light have the three defilements swept away, and they become soft and gentle in body and mind. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
Sharon, thank you very much for your Dharma message and your experience that you had out in the desert last week, and connections, how the Nembutsu is always part of our lives, and to understand that is in our daily lives is difficult. But glad you and Robert are safe, and don't worry about the commotions that you had out there. But I'm really interested to hear your next story about this, your trip out to the desert. Okay, will everyone please rise for the Gatha Ondokusan? It can be found on page 128 of the service book. everyone please remain standing for the recitation of the gratitude for Jodo Shinshu. It's insert that's found inside the service book. Gratitude for Jodo Shinshu teaching is written by Senyo Shonin, the current Gomonchu of our Jodo Shinshu tradition. Namo Amida Butsu. Entrust yourself to me. I will liberate you just as you are. This is the calling voice of Amida. My blind passions are embraced in the Buddha's awakening. So the Buddha calls to me. I will liberate you just as you are. Gratefully responding to the Buddha's call, I find that I am already on the path that leads to the Pure Land, and the Nambutsu flows freely from my thankful heart. Living the Dharma as my guide softens my rigid heart and mind. Gratitude for the gift of life I have received frees me from becoming lost in greeting and honor, and allows me to share the warm smile and speak gentle words. Sharing in the joy and sadness of others, I shall strive to live each day to its fullest. Kansho, Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. You may be seated. Are there any announcements at this time?
Hi, good morning, everyone. Today is your final day to get sukiyaki luncheon tickets. It's next Sunday already. Next Sunday, November 3rd at noon. So it'll be after service. Adults are $20, children are $10. It's all you can eat. We're doing prep on Saturday, and then we'll have all the food. It'll be cooked right at the table right in front of you, so you can eat it nice and hot and just eat as much as, to your heart's content. And as a reminder, if you're coming, we are encouraging like a very eco-friendly event, so please bring like bowls or plates or cups and utensils, whatever you'd like to use for sukiyaki, rice. We'll have some edamame, takuan, tsukemono, all homemade. And so if you bring that, and then we'll have like a washing station, so in that way you can wash it right after we eat. All right, thank you.
Hi, I'm Margot, your friendly brittle lady. I just wanted to make a few corrections. The October Kaiho had the wrong price on the brittle corn. It said $11 and $12 instead of $12. And of course, I got a gazillion orders from the October. So the November mailing, I tried to make a correction, and in the mailed Kaiho and in the email. But in the mailed Kaiho, there's a cute little emoji asking for your forgiveness about the error in the price, and the correct order form is in there. The other thing is, if anybody has any bags like this, you could bring it to the temple, because this is what we fill the orders with. Otherwise, you get to handle like the 10 bags of brittle that you order. So, thank you.
Thanks, Margot, and thanks also, Kimberly, before that. I'm Bill Teague. The digital version of the Kaiho, if you downloaded it after 2 p.m. yesterday, has the form at the back as a 13th page. So if you're looking for your order form, that's one place to find it, but they also have them downstairs for the brittle. I just wanted to say a few things about Buddhist education and the This coming Wednesday, we'll have another session of Buddhism 123. We're going to be talking about how features of Jodo Shinshu relate to some of the doctrine of Shinran. And then the following Wednesday, we are taking a break. So after that, we'll resume the second Wednesday in November. But I also wanted to say that we now have the flyers for end-of-life planning seminars, which begin on Saturday, November 23rd at 3 p.m. in the Annex Hall. These are organized and chaired or moderated by Dr. Mitsuo Tomita. Many of you know him. He's quite active in the community. Retired now from Kaiser after 30 years as a family physician, but he's seen firsthand how poor planning can cause difficulties, not just for you, but also for your loved ones if you're no longer responsive and they're trying to make decisions on your behalf. And for better or for worse, the paperwork doesn't always work out the way you think it does in those medical situations. So he'll talk about that and some other things. In Japan, they call this end-of-life planning shukatsu, which is a relatively new term. It's a sort of abbreviation for end-of-life planning. And they have turned what we might think of as kind of dreary and something to be avoided as a very positive thing, because you're almost creating, the conditions, ideal conditions under which you might die. You've already thought of everything. You're not causing difficulties to your loved ones. So I encourage folks to attend that. And then finally, if I can triple dip, the same evening, we are very grateful that Reverend Henry Adams, our guest speaker for the Eitaikyo service, is conducting an informal Dharma talk in the Sangha Hall starting at 6:30. And the topic is what you don't know about Eitaikyo. So everyone is welcome to that. And both of the last two events on Saturday will also include refreshments afterwards. If there are families with kids, we also provide child care so your children don't have to sit through a discussion of what happens when you die. So if you need child care, just let us know. The seminar at 3 p.m. is free, but we just ask that you let the temple know and give us your contact information. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Shirley, and I'm here to announce the 25th anniversary of the San Diego Asian Film Festival. And I brought some booklets, and I put some in the Linda's office, which is one floor down below, so if you're interested in picking up a copy. And I'm here to also highlight a couple movies. One movie is Nobuko Miyamoto, A Song in Movement, and that will show November 10th, Sunday, at about noon. And a tie-in to the temple is that Nobuko Miyamoto, she is one of the, she's an activist, singer, dancer, choreographer, and she's choreographed some of our Obon dances, such as Motai Nai and Bambutsu no Tsunagari, Ichie, Ichigo. So people may, if you do Obon dance, you may be familiar with the dances. And she's also going to appear in person, and she's supposed to perform. She may sing one of her latest songs. I'm not sure. Anyway, so if you have an opportunity, you can meet her in person. So, and if you have any questions about her choreography, and or her songs or her activism, she'll be there in person. And then another movie right after that, the same day, is the Cats of Gokoku Shrine. And so that's for any cat lovers. But if you've seen the trailer, it looks like it's also more, also will include environmental issues and spirituality, because the cats, I guess, live around the shrine. So those are two I'm just highlighting, but there's about, if you're into Japanese film, there's about 5 or 6 at the whole festival. But the festival includes Asian movies from all Asian countries. And then, okay, and my last announcement that Sharon already mentioned is that if you saw Carving the Divine, the movie, Yuji Seki, the director, he'll be here around 11-ish, and he'll be at hospitality. So he'll be in our dining room, which is also one floor below. So if you saw his movie and you didn't get to ask a question, you get to meet him in person. So those are my announcements. I think I covered everything. Thank you.
I have 3 announcements. During the month of November, the Junior YBA will be having their annual food drive for the Thanksgiving holidays. So they're accepting non-perishable food items, canned foods and so forth, or monetary donations, and they will be collecting until I believe it's 24th. Yeah, up until the 24th of November. And then also during the month of November, will be our annual winter clothing drive. So the temple will be accepting gently used clothing items of jackets and sweaters and sweatshirts, thick socks, and so forth. And that will be going on until the end of November. And then lastly, the monthly Shotsuki Hoya, the monthly memorial service, will be on November 17th. Okay, so those are all of our announcements for upcoming. Okay, you may remain seated, but we will now have closing meditation and music meditation. So. Life can bring you down, but don't despair. There is a way to make you more aware. All you need to do is close your eyes. Just calm your mind and memorize. Mindful moments, a time to be aware. Mindful moments, a time to smile and share. Mindful moments filled with love and care. Anytime, any day, anywhere. Kansho. Namo Amida. Namo Amida. Namo Amida. The words that I just read were excerpts from the Gatha Mindful Moments written by Kathy Kwok. She's a member of the Palo Alto Buddhist Temple, and this Gatha that she wrote was presented at our Southern District Conference last Saturday. Okay, this concludes our service for today. Thank you for attending, and you're welcome to come up to offer incense. And thank you to Sharon Sasaki for being our Dharma leader this morning and for her Dharma message, and to Bill Teague for ringing the Kansho, and to Robert, our musician, and to Brevin and Ricky running the live stream. And to all of you for attending this morning, thank you for attending, and please join us for hospitality downstairs in the dining room, and have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. Thank you.